How do families come together after they have come apart? When parents are overwhelmed with problems and no longer can care for their children, foster parents can provide a loving home. With the support of social workers, foster parents can extend their love to include the child's parents and help the family reunite. This extended family can be family forever.
I never lost hope that I was going to be with my mother. I knew she was going to get me back.
Everything was going downhill. We had no food. There was all kinds of people in and out through the house.
I just needed that time to get myself back together again.
I think maybe I got fortunate because I really wanted in my heart to do this, and they wanted me to accomplish this.
That was the worst day of my life because I thought I wasn't going to never see him no more. But when I left, I didn't pick up. I knew within myself what I had to do, and I was going to get my child back. And with the Lord help, I have a year's clean now. I'm doing okay. I just take one day at a time. That's all I can do. But I come a long way, have a long way to go.
And I think that's one of the happy moments in my life to see a parent get back his child, take care of his kids, and raise those kids.
That's right.
I am there to take care of the child, not to take the child. Getting off on the right foot, right start with the birth parents, to me is the most important thing. You just make friends. You just cannot judge a birth parent for any reason. And once you get past not judging them, then it's very easy to connect with them.
I was ashamed, you know. I just feel icky.
The feelings birth parents, social workers, and foster parents have for each other often change as their relationship develops. At the beginning of the relationship, there may be many barriers to overcome.
Sometimes you get offended because even though you're trying to do good, the parents don't always see that, especially if they're addicted.
I had a very nasty attitude. I talked very funky. I said whatever I wanted to say to whoever, didn't care who was around. All she wanted to do was get in my business, and they thought I wasn't good enough to, be with my children. I thought they were more so out to hurt me than help me. That's what I was thinking.
I think they feel very threatened by us in the very beginning because we are a stranger that they don't know. A lot of them are under the impression we are there to take their children from them. And I tell them there's a difference between taking their children and taking care of their children, that we are part of a reunification program, and the objective is to get the child back with them.
Well, first, Jeff explained what kind of a situation they were going into from the get-go. I mean, I was introduced to Cheryl the very first day the kids were brought in, and Jeff made it easier, and he blended us real well. That's what you did. You did an awful lot to smooth things out. You really did.
Well, the good part about the social worker was he stayed neutral. He never took sides.
No.
And he basically let us make decisions, which was good for us as foster parents, for her as the mother, and for the children, because it really showed that we were working together as a team, the mother and the foster parents, with the children's best interests at heart.
And when they don't know the answers, I will go to the birth parent, and then I'll get the answers from them. So we inadvertently will give each other information.
As the families and social workers develop feelings of trust and focus on strengths, stronger relationships develop.
We all came together as team members, and we sat down and said, okay, what would be the best time for you? What would be the best time for the mom or for the foster parents? Sometimes they worked things out without my intervention. They did it on their own.
Well, after maybe about 5 months of him being in foster care, The Rosses, being his foster parents, they would always just say, well, anytime you want to come up and visit your son, or if you want us to bring him to you.
And then I came to accept it, that they were doing something for my family I couldn't do right now.
Well, I usually like to start off with a nice big hug, you know, and let her know that I am there for her child. I am there to provide a loving environment for their child and encourage them to come as often as they possibly can, or I will drive to them.
From that time on, it was like a bond. Like I knew that she cared. I never doubted that she cared for him. I just think that this being her first child, and all she needed was just a little guidance, and
just overwhelmed me really with comfort and just being sincere. That was really it. And you know, it just got to the point where I said, well, maybe I'll ask him one day if I could come back and just see my baby again. I said, I'm a little scared to ask him, but, you know, and he said, sure, just give us a call. And
she made me feel like just because I was a recovering addict, I didn't have to be ashamed. I didn't have to walk with my head down and try to hide. She said, Sylvia, you want help? I'm going to help you. And she did.
As Janine's talking, I'm saying, oh, I should feel jealous, because there are times where I may have been left out as a social worker, but they worked things out, and I didn't feel that way. Right, there were times where they didn't call, or they'll tell me later on, oh, this would happen, you know, we worked it out, and I felt good because I didn't have to be the bad person or the mediator. They were able to work things out, and I think that's what helped to make the relationship and the team.
And try to push them in the right, and I try to see what is in them that's good, and I just push that and encourage that in there.
Changes, and the first time I had hope was when I talked to Miss Pam. Yes, when I talked to Miss Pamela, that's when my hope started coming back, that maybe I will get her.
She started talking to me about where she had been. She'd been through drug treatment already. And she wanted to know what she could do to get her child back home.
Janine has her part as the birth mother. Carla and I have our part as being that support system to her that's outside of the agency. Not saying that Donna's a bad person, but sometimes you feel that you're more focused if you feel that you're a part of a family as opposed to just a part of a system.
I think a big part of being a foster parent is to try to make the children feel like a part of your family. If they feel like they belong there and that you care for them, then it eases their minds, and it gives them a sense of being because you care for them.
It took a lot of love and a lot of commitment on their part to heal us, because we were all wrecked. You know, and Joel took it the hardest because he was the oldest, and he had seen me fall.
Cecil, tell yourself, he got 2 moms and 2 dads. So she's just like part of our family. It's just something that just grow together, you know.
I think sometimes just being there, if they call you and they have a specific problem or concern, just being able to talk it out, or even help them in a situation.
And you have communication, and where one will lack, you know, the other might pick up, or where one might not know, the other one will know. So it's a togetherness, and the key word is communication.
The foster parent and the birth parent can work together, and a lot of times we do have foster parents that become mentors or sort of reteach the birth parents how to become parents again.
And I try to build up the little thing that I can see, you know, and encourage them. You know, sometimes their self-esteem is low.
Children really benefit from a strong team effort. Foster parents who include the birth family in a co-parenting effort can increase the birth parent's skills and confidence, increasing the probability of reunification.
to have your kids in foster care, you got to understand that somebody is doing a better job than you are right at that moment. Cheryl just took me step by step, you know, and we talked on the phone, and we talked when she would bring the kids over to me.
We find out what the birth parent really needs. Sometimes it's just learning how to mother a child. Sometimes they don't know how to set up appointments for children. And we're trained to do that. And we tell them about the appointments, even ask them to go to the appointments with us. Sometimes the parents don't even know how to cook. And we'll even give them little recipes, give them little shortcuts of how to set up programs to feed the children, you know, for the breakfast and lunch and little snacks and whatnot. And teach them how to play games with the little children, because some of them don't have that motherly instinct, and we try to give that to them.
Everybody go through things in their life, and everybody needs somebody to help them along the way.
It wasn't like I was imposing or being disruptive with their family or anything. They just, whenever I just needed to be with my son, they were just always there. And it made a great difference in me getting back with my son because, you know, it wasn't like I was scared to talk to them about any concerns that I had or anything. It was just, we just worked everything out together, medical-wise, just as much as Christmas toys, anything.
We just grew closer and closer, just like more like a mother and daughter relationship as opposed to just a foster mom, me being a foster mom and her being a birth mom.
We do a lot of family things together. We go places. We took them to all the kids to the zoo. This summer, we took them to the Ringling and Barnum and Bailey Circus. I mean, you know, we've just done a lot of things together, and just the reassurance and the love and the dedication that they have put into it as well as myself. I'm quite sure that this will be a long time thing. So,
a lot of the birth moms have very low self-esteem. They're kind of sometimes rock bottom because they've had their child taken away from them. Just try to build them up as you would a friend that's having a bad time. That's where you get over anything that has, the past is the past, and you have to just start from that moment on and move forward.
Got adapted to this lifestyle now. It's clean, it's fresh. It's been like a new beginning to me and my son, a new start. It's healthy, it's strong, it's just peaceful. And, you know, I want that life for me and my son, so just hope to keep these people in our lives.
The look on a child's face when he's squeezing his mom or holding his dad, you know, with the whole family. The deep breath the mother takes every time, you know, when they go up and that child grabs, it's just a deep, I got goosebumps. It's just an overwhelming feeling, and I feel very privileged and honored to see it, to be a part of it.
No matter what happens when she gets Cecil back, there are going to be good days and there are going to be bad days. We're going to be here. And if she gets to the point where she slips back, then we're not here to judge her. We're here to pull her up. And I think she knows that that's deeper than just feeling for somebody, that's love.
And here's that's of living proof that togetherness, it will work. Here's that's living proof. We're gonna all be here for each other. It started out as a togetherness thing, and that's the way it's gonna stay. We're gonna all be here for each other, you know.
So she became like a real daughter. I mean, she thought I was her father. She thought my wife was her mother. It was really strange. I come home for lunch and she would grab me at the door and say, "Daddy," I mean, you know, and it was gone. It was difficult. I miss her. I miss Joel and Matthew. It was hard, very hard. But in a sense, it was very gratifying because they went back home. So, you know, it was difficult, still is.
Yeah, I'm glad because everything's a lot better now. It's not, you know, down in the dumps like it used to be. Now we're, you know, actually getting somewhere.
Because this is my other mother. I can't lose contact with her. I can't.
I can't imagine my son not being a part of their lives because they have just been there for both of us, just as real people, basically. and really sincere about what they were doing to try to help us.
It's not all that bad having a social worker in your life. It's a blessing. It really is. It's a blessing to have a social worker. It is.
Thank you.
Because I love mine now.
Thank you very much. See, that's the first time she's ever told me that.
Oh my goodness, when you see a birth parent and a child reunited, it's just like you taking a test, that final test at school, and you aced it. Yes.
Families who come apart can come together again. Birth families and foster families can work together to create an extended family, a family forever.